Good morning. It is May 27th, 2025, and it is Tuesday here at WiLS, which means it's time for another Taco Tuesday. I am very pleased to be joined by uh, four of our esteemed vendor partners here at WiLS. Um, Starting us off is going to be Laura, who is joining us from Cornell Lab of Ornithology. I am really excited for this session because I have to say, I just installed the Cornell app on my phone because I was like, I hear a bird and I don't know what that bird is. So I'm excited to hear Laura talk to us about their
Yeah.
resource.
Well, thanks for having me, Jeff. It's always a good day to talk about birds. 365 days a year. It's what I do. I love it. But thanks for the introduction. I'm from Cornell Lab of Ornithology. I'm the business manager for Birds of the World, which is the resource I'll be talking about today. The Cornell Lab is a nonprofit research institution associated with Cornell University. And we are the makers of Merlin Bird ID app, which Jeff just mentioned, which is a very popular app. You might have used. If you haven't downloaded it, it's free. There's been 17 million downloads worldwide so far. But we're also the makers of Bird Academy, which is a bunch of courses that people can take. Everyone from beginners, intermediate to experienced birders have a variety of courses. And then we also are the makers of Birds of the World, which I want to talk with you in more depth today. Birds of the World is the world's largest scholarly resource, authoritative resource, focused on the diversity of birds in the avian kingdom, avian world. It's a fundamental resource for academics. It is fundamental to all research and conservation practices, and typically the first place that researchers and conservationists will go if they want to learn more about the life history details of a species. So, for example, here's a bunch of birds that you might find in your backyard. We have the whole life history of the downy
Laura, I
woodpecker.
don't think you're actually sharing your screen at the moment.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, I do those little things. Okay. You missed all the fun. All right, so share. Great. Here we go. All right.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. So here's the dowdy woodpecker, which is, again, I'm sure many of you have seen this in your backyard, and it provides the entire life history of the bird. Scarlet tanager, beautiful bird with maps and photos. The American robin, details about its life history. And then there's also birds that you can find in places far away, such as the scarlet ibis, which comes from South America, or the vernal hanging parrot, which is an Asian species. So beautiful stuff here. So basically, again, it's anywhere from an academic resource to a birdwatcher's playground. It's an encyclopedic resource that anyone can use, and many people do use. A lot of birdwatchers can spend countless hours because, as a birdwatcher myself, um, everything when I'm watching birds, when I'm trying to identify them in the field, if I'm trying to anticipate their arrival in spring, or their knowledge of their departure, or how many eggs they lay, or where their nest, it's up high or up low. All of these details can be found in the species accounts for birds of the world. So it's something that is used for both avid bird watchers and researchers. All right, so I explained already that it's a compendium of species accounts. I think the official term, librarian term for that, is monograph. Um, but this is kind of much more than that, because it's a very dynamic resource that includes photographs of various birds, as well as data. This is bird observation data. This is a connection. So we have these dynamic connections to other lab resources, okay? So if you see here the Macaulay Library, this is a vast media collection of all the birds in the world. It includes actually data on whale sounds and frog sounds and things like that. So this media archive has millions, and what our scientists do is they kind of collate and curate a set of images, sounds, and videos that go well with every account. Okay. And then there's also, sorry, excuse me, there's also a connection to what's called eBird. And eBird And when I clicked that, what I did is I came to the eBird page for all the vernal hanging parrot data that has been collected by bird watchers in the world. So I've never seen this species, so I've not seen it. But at least 96,000 other observations have been submitted in the past, some with photos and some also with sound. So I want to kind of rest on Cape May warbler, which is a very special warbler to me. It's rare that I ever see it. It was in my backyard last week, so very special bird. What it is, it spends its winter, let's look here. It spends its winter down in the Caribbean, and I think that's, where are we? I think that's part of Honduras. Um, it spends its winter down here, and then in the blue areas, and then the yellow areas show its migration path. So I'm sitting here in New York, and it went by me, and some of them actually take an inner route and wind up right there in northern Wisconsin. So it's a fan of the Canadian Northwoods and Northwoods in general, where you have large conifers like spruce and fir. And it's what's known as a spruce budworm specialist. So every time there's a outbreak of spruce budworm, you'll see populations of Cape May just kind of go, whoom, and they come in and they feed on the spruce budworms. So so again, here is a wonderful account with a beautiful first page that has a great summary, like an introduction to the species, which kind of tells the story, in a narrative way of what the bird is. I was talking about media already. We also have scientific illustrations, very carefully done, that help users kind of have a nice profile look of every bird, the male and the female. And at the top of Birds of the World, you have, again, what we call the essential set of media. And these are, again, very carefully curated images that our scientists put together of the male. And see how this is a lovely yellow bird with this cinnamon patch on its face. And here it is in a spruce tree. Okay. This is a female. I think this one in the back was also a female. And female as well, female as well. And so what we do is we try to get male, female, juvenile, might be first year juvenile, second year juvenile, whatever is relevant for that species, but also various seasonality to it as well. Okay. And here's it is feeding in a spruce. And then there's a video, like an essential video and an essential sound. I'll play this sound just for fun. There you go. Okay, so what makes Birds of the World different from most encyclopedias is just that we have like authoritative content, authoritative media, and authoritative maps. And when it comes to the life history details, we have everything from identification, plumages, systematics of the bird, where it fits in the taxonomic tree, the distribution of the bird worldwide, habitat, movements and migration, what it eats, diet and foraging, what it sounds like. And this particular section is not only like just an audio, it really talks about the vocal array. So it explains every single type of sound that bird uses. And so we've got behavior, breeding, demography, and populations, and of course, conservation and management. So what are the effects? What is its status currently? What are the effects of human activity? And how is it best to manage that bird? Okay. We also have something called priorities for future research, which has been really good for students and for professors who are looking to start a new project. Like there's one of the most important things for scientists to know is where there's gaps in the research and how the work that they do can actually be beneficial to the big picture of bird ecology. I want to just point out also more multimedia, another curated set here, and these have legends that describe age, sex, and what might be going on in that photograph. So that is also very useful, and people analyze these so that did what I see in the field actually match what, what was going on there. Um, and of course, it's highly referenced, highly referenced. One of our species accounts, I think it's for the golden eagle, has more than 700 references. So, I mean, we've got hundreds of thousands of references inside Birds of the World. Our authors, and I want to get back to that authoritativeness, our authors are people who are scientists, conservationists, and students who are specialists in various species, and they put the content together. We also work with various, in our partners area, we have partners all over the world. For example, Bird Count India. They've produced all of these different accounts. They're a wonderful conservation organization in India, and they're doing all of this data. So again, what your students or your faculty or your patrons will get is detailed treatments of bird, the life history of a bird, great multimedia and maps. It's a great research thing. It's very, very useful in that way. Our audience, of course, is largely academic, but it includes public libraries, nonprofits, state agencies, and some K through 12 that have enthusiastic biology teachers, right? Some K through 12 actually make use of that. One of the favorite clients is a third grade teacher. Now, I mean, you have to be pretty motivated and really guide a child through this, but it's so colorful, bright, vibrant. There's definitely ways you can develop a curriculum around it. So I think with that, I am up to any other questions. We sell institutional subscriptions, and of course, it's kind of got a sliding fee scale depending on your FTE. And we also do, the license agreement. We also participate in the CERO registry if that kind of helps facilitate things. So that's all I had. If I don't know if I went very fast, is that 5 minutes or 25? I don't really know.
You, no, you did great, Laura. Thank you so much. I actually think I've been with WiLS for 12 years, and we've been partners with Cornell on this resource all that time. I think this might be the first time I've ever had anyone like show me around. So that was really a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah. It's so deep and there's so many components to it. I've never feel that it's enough. Like people can subscribe, but they don't know how to get in, and so I'm
Right.
always very grateful for the opportunity to do this. And I've also done this for universities, a librarian is welcome to contact me and say, well, we have it, but can you explain it? And I think that's particularly useful for young students who don't really, a lot of professors can find their way around. But for students who don't just don't have the experience yet to know what kind of information even exists in the world,
Right.
you know? So
Well, great. Thank you. Thank you again for joining us, Laura, and for showing us around Birds of the World.
absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Let me get us set up for our next presenter. Very quickly, I'm going to share my screen again. And okay, so coming to us, we actually have two folks, I believe, coming to us from Naxos, which is another longtime WiLS vendor partner. Actually, today it's all longtime WiLS vendor partners, which is cool. But another longtime WiLS vendor partner that I don't know if I've ever really even kind of been in or gotten a good look at the resources. So this is super exciting for me. Anyway, coming to us from Naxos of America are John Sells and Caitlin Smith. And if you two are ready to take over, I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, we are happy to go. It's hard to follow up a presentation about the beautiful birds. Man, I tell you, the longer you live, the more interested you get in birds. And you get your first birdhouse, and it's all downhill from there.
I love
Um,
it.
but as a segue, birds are nature's finest musicians, and we're transitioning here to Naxos as a music company for those that are not aware. We're based outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and more specifically, we're focused on classical music. Though over the 30 years plus that we've been in existence, we've grown to work with all kinds of music, film and TV, jazz, world music, all kinds. And back in the early 2000s, uh, before there was really such thing as Spotify or streaming, we developed Naxos Music Library, which was a place to house thousands of our recordings from our label, that didn't take up near as much space as stacking up physical CDs in your closet. Fast forward to today, and we've surpassed 3 million tracks on our platform from our label, from other labels we work with, the big labels, the small labels, and we're continually growing weekly. So that's an exciting world to be in, an ever-growing library of classical music. About a decade ago, we began to branch out on a new path of the classical music world, which is education. We found that a lot of colleges and public libraries were finding interest in our platforms, so we began expanding to more than just streaming and to add educational functions as well. And so I'll start here sharing my screen. So let's kind of walk through this in a fun way. Let's say you're looking at a piece of music and you see an instruction that says PIZZ period. And you think, what does that mean? Well, if you have Naxos Music Library at your fingertips, you can go to the Resources tab here. There's a plethora of resources to look through, but the one we're going to go for is the dictionary. And let's just type that in so we can see what we're looking at. Ah, here it is, the first result, pizzicato, which means plucked. Pizzicato is created by plucking the strings of an instrument such as a violin, which is normally bowed. Okay, that's helpful to know. Here's some examples of what we might have seen in our music. PIZZ period, a little dot, um, other notations. And it doesn't stop there. We have audio clips for you to listen to of these different examples. Let me see here. Is there a way for me to share computer sound? There we go. So if I click this recording of Tchaikovsky's Symphony No. 4, Third Movement, you hear kind of a bouncy sound of a string section. And so that's what it would sound like versus when it's bowed and kind of that more longer sounding notes. Okay, so now that I've heard this little bit of Tchaikovsky's Fourth Symphony, I want to hear more. I don't want just the little sample. Let's go back to Naxos Music Libraries, go to the home page. I'm going to search for Tchaikovsky Symphony 4, and we're going to see tons of results. I'm going to go with the second one. It's the Colorado Symphony Orchestra. That's a good orchestra. I want to hear some more of that third movement that we were listening to. I'm going to click that one and listen. And we can continue listening. Okay, cool. Now I've listened to a little bit and I want to learn a little bit more about this piece of music specifically. Well, there's an information button that I can pick and then read a little write-up about what this symphony means when it came out, what it meant to Tchaikovsky when he wrote it. Cool. So I've started with a small term, music term in my music, and I've now discovered this work by Tchaikovsky. It just kind of shows you how you can bounce around in this platform. And if I wanted to learn more about Tchaikovsky himself, I could go and click on his name, which would bring me to a biography of him. I can read some about his life, about some of the important works that he wrote and what it meant to the world of classical music. There's little video snippets and audio snippets that you can listen to and watch about Tchaikovsky himself. And then while I'm already dived into Tchaikovsky himself, I can just look at any of the works that he's written that are available on Naxos Music Library. The cool thing about Naxos is that we have all these little bits of information about everything, and you can bounce around and you can find yourself in a rabbit hole very quickly, which is a fun way to learn. and discover music. All right, let's go back to that term that we started this whole section with, pizzicato. I was talking about how you pluck a stringed instrument. Well, if you're anything like my 5-year-old daughter who just saw a video of someone playing a violin, she said, "Dad, what's that instrument? I love it." I said, "That's a violin." And for a kid, being able to, let me get here. Being able to see something can spark more questions. And for those that are good visual learners, we have our visual platform, Naxos Video Library. And I can't talk and spell Tchaikovsky at the same time. Okay, if I want to see what I just listened to, I can search for it on our video library. And oh, looky here. Here's a live performance of Tchaikovsky's. Oh, that's the wrong one. My bad. I can watch a live performance of Tchaikovsky's Fourth Symphony and watch them play pizzicato live. So not only have I learned what the word means, I've listened to a recording of it. I can now watch and see these techniques in action. And I think I've confused the system by clicking on 2 links. So we're gonna pass on that for now. And we're going to move into back to my 5-year-old daughter and her curiosity with classical music and the violin. We have a platform specifically for kids aged 4 to 14. It's kind of an introductory walk through classical music and the different things that go with it, the instruments, composers, the ingredients that make up the music. So if I were to put my daughter in front of me and we were to walk through what the violin is, we'll be able to look at pictures and terms and definitions of how a violin is built. Some key facts about people that are renowned violinists and how they've changed the history of violin. Look at pictures as to where the violin sits in an orchestra. Listen to some playlists of different violin selections. So this is a way to get people that are younger and less experienced with classical music, an easy and non-intimidating way into the world of classical music. Not only that, but there are activities as a teacher, if you're a teacher of lower education, elementary school, middle school, there are activities for you to use as a teacher. And we can see some of these activities right here. Let's say we're going back to strings. We have teacher printouts for questions to pass out to your students, an answer sheet for the teacher. There's so many different ways for you to incorporate Music Box into your curriculum and use it as a teacher, or even those that are in college studying to be music educators. This is a great resource to help develop your future classroom. And to end things off of our look at Naxos, we're having a day here. It's called Taco Tuesday. I think 2 of the best ways to discover and really dive into a culture are its music and its food. And unfortunately, we're not eating tacos. WiLS didn't send out tacos for everyone to enjoy during this meeting. Maybe something to change in the future. I don't know. Just kidding. But we're going to take a look at our world platform now. So one of the coolest ways to browse music on this platform is by geographical area. So it's Taco Tuesday. I'm thinking Mexico. Let's look at Northern America and let's look specifically narrowed down to Mexico. Hop to the middle of the page search here. So there's just page after page of music that is from Mexico by Mexican artists and just a vast collection of different types of Mexican music. And so whenever we eat food that is from a different culture at my house, whether it's Italian, Mexican, Indian, Thai, I try to find a playlist or an album of music from that culture, and it really just makes the food taste better. So here we have a mariachi band playing music. It's going to be the perfect send-off to our Taco Tuesday. All right. That's just a quick view. We didn't have too much time to dive into all the specifics, but hopefully kind of the bouncing around way that we walked through some of these things that it shows you at least a glimpse of what you can find and learn and discover in some of the Naxos products. So I'm going to hand it over to Caitlin. She's going to talk a little bit more about some technical information and logistics about the subscriptions. And hopefully you've enjoyed this. And you can write to us to request trials or whatever it may be. So over to Caitlin. I'll stop talking.
Hi, I'm going to share my screen really quickly. I have a nice little presentation. So, Naxos of America, we aim to make quality music education and streaming accessible, which is what John has talked about. We want to take our expertise and put it in the hands of the world to ensure that the bright future of the musical arts is safe and well nurtured. Here are a list of our services that we offer. I've kind of got the tracks and the amount of content that we have on each platform listed out. John has gone over a lot of these, but we have a sheet music library, a works database, which is great for programming. It's really great for directors and conductors. We've got our jazz platform, our spoken word library for our non-musical content. It's audiobooks. We have over 16,000 titles on there. It's super great, super awesome. Here's what we offer. If you were to sign on, we offer multiple authentication formats. So we have IP authentication, referral URLs, library card numbers, and username and password, the good old reliable username and password. We have a dedicated customer service team. We're always open. We have one that is technical, and then John and I are also a part of it. We're always happy to help however we can. We also offer personalized onboarding. So if you were to subscribe, we're so happy to get on a call with you and set up your account, walk you through the different services, walk you through all the features. That's what we're here for. And also our platforms are WCAG 2.1 AA compliant. We offer VPATs for our main three, which are Music Library Jazz, and Music Library World. And we also have great apps that you can even offline stream with if you were to download the content to your phone. So you could listen to it in the car, listen to it on your run, whatever you may fancy. Our pricing is super flexible. We operate off of an active user seat model. It's whatever you would need. It goes from 5 users all the way up to unlimited. There's no specific FTE required. We are 100% focused on making the deal that you would need that serves your institution best. And since you're a WiLS member, you get 15% off our standard pricing. We operate on a subscription term of a year, and if you were to upgrade in the middle of the year, we can always prorate it. We're happy to give you a cut when we can. And I think I'm running out of time. So if you want to learn more, I can pass this over to be sent out. Oh, Facebook. Oh no, the K's right there. Okay, it just changed because it's on PowerPoint. But Naxos for Education is our website. We've got our Facebook and our Instagram. And then I write the monthly newsletter if you want to sign up. I think that's pretty much everything. I really ran through that quickly. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. I'll stop sharing.
Thank you, John and Caitlin, for showing us around Naxos resources. Again, I totally agree. Great segue from birds to music, or bird-made music to human-made music. I think excellent pairing for today. But we are going to move right along. So very quickly, let me share my screen just to set up our next presenter. There we go. Coming to us now. I don't think this is your first Taco Tuesday. I'm happy to have Pat Salazar back to join us to talk about resources from Britannica. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so Pat can take over.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. I truly appreciate it. Okay, can you see my screen? I just want to make sure we can do that.
I can. I see horses.
Awesome. Okay. So, my name is Pat Salazar, and I'm with Encyclopedia Britannica. I am the Britannica Customer Success Manager for for WiLS actually, and I manage all WiL members. So if you have any questions about ImageQuest Junior, feel free to reach out to Jeff, and he will, I'm sure, get in contact with us. But let me show you what ImageQuest is. And let me just go real quick to my page and then I can do that for you. Okay, so let's see. Okay, perfect. So here I am at ImageQuest. And just briefly, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about ImageQuest. This is a very friendly user platform for younger learners. And right now, it contains slightly over 51,000 rights cleared images for educational use. And there are about 62 media providers currently. So these are all hand curated by the Britannica's editorial team, just to assure you that it meets the needs of the younger audience. And it also represents the most popular titles in ImageQuest for this particular audience. So you'll notice that very much of this, it's light on text, and it's also fully responsive and mobile friendly. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of dive into this real quick. And so you'll see this is a landing page. This is a landing page for ImageQuest. And you'll see that this is part of the media gallery. We have a toolbar here. Users can explore images. They can also explore videos. And then, you just have all of that information towards the bottom. And then, of course, you can view all of the image galleries or the video galleries. And there are approximately 6 subject areas for the image galleries. And if you're interested in exploring, let me see if I can move this box a little bit. If you're interested in exploring the video gallery, let me take you there quickly. You could also see all of the animals that are available, the science topics, as well as geography and animals. But for purposes of this demonstration, we're going to do a search based off the toolbar. And what we'll do is we will look for sharks. Sorry, this seems to be throwing me off just a little bit. So we will do a search for sharks. And so you'll see that the icon here, when you click on it, changes the media gallery also to sharks. And so what we will do is we will go into the shark media gallery. And so here you know where your search results are because you'll see images and then you'll also see videos. And so you'll be able to see all of the different images for sharks. And then also true for the video search results page, you'll be able to see all of the videos. And over on the right lower hand corner, you're able to see the length of each of the videos. So most of these are certainly under 1 minute. And so we'll go back to the images for sharks. And you see when you kind of hover over it, you'll have a little heart. And you can add this to your favorites, or you could download it. And you can do this individually if you like for each one of the images that we have listed here. And so what we'll do is we'll just kind of go into this particular one because I would like to know more about this specific image. So when you do that, you'll see what looks like a controller. And once you're in the controller section, you can use these arrow buttons to go back and forth within the media gallery. And I'll take you through a couple of them just so that you can see them. And then also you have your share button, so you can share this image. And you'll have the link provided there. You can download this. You can also cite this image, and we provide the citation information so that these images and videos are cited correctly by users. And then you can also print this specific image. Again, you also have your little add to favorites heart. And then if you scroll down just a little bit further, you'll be able to see a description of this particular image. So clicking, sorry, I'm dragging you guys with me, but clicking on this little plus sign allows additional information to become available. And so you'll see that you'll have your description, you'll have credit information, copyright information. All of this that is vital to this specific image is going to be available within that little plus sign. And so what we'll do is we'll just go back and then we'll take a look at really quickly the video section. And again, as I said, you can add these to your favorites. You can go ahead, you can download them. You'll be able to see the length of each of these videos. So we'll just kind of go into this very first one just so we could take a look at it. Again, you have your controller. And then just by clicking on that little arrow, now there is no sound that's attached to this. And if there were, you would be able to hear it, but you're actually able to view this particular video for 9 seconds. Again, you can add this to your favorite. You'll have a description of the video. And then also what you can do is you can click on the plus sign to get additional information about this specific video. Okay, so now that we know we have images and videos that we're interested in looking at here, what we're going to do is we're going to select a few of these. And so you can do that quickly by clicking on the select button. And then you'll see that it changes a little bit and you have boxes at the top. So I kind of just want to randomly go through 3 of these images and I want to add them to my favorites. And so you'll do that here with the select button. It opens up these additional tools where you can add to your favorite. And then you have a little message that says your images have been added to your favorites. You can download, again, email, you can print, save to Google Drive, and it tells you how many of these images you've selected. So I also want to go to my video section, and I'm simply going to do the same thing. I'm going to open up my select button. And again, I have the option to add, to download, to email, or save to Google Drive. And so I will just go ahead and randomly click on 2 of these, and I'm going to add them to my favorites. And you have your confirmation that these have been added. So the next thing I want to do is I want to actually log in, and I want to take a look at all of the images and videos that I've saved. So I am going to click on this little facial emoji that's there. And the little message that I'm getting says, you're not signed in yet. So you just click on the sign in and you're taken to a sign in screen. And here you can add your username and your password if you know what that is. If you've forgotten it, like many of us have, you can click on the recover login. If you're a first time user, you can click on register. But for purposes of this demo, I'm going to just sign in with Google. And it will take me to all of the images and videos that I've selected thus far. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, again, just kind of take a look at all of these videos and all of the images that I saved. And what I want to do is I want to add these to an album. And so you see your album section here. Well, I'm going to click on my favorites because I want to take a look at all of these images and videos for sharks. And so again, just simply click on my select button. I know that I'm in the images tab, so I'm just quickly going to select these 3 that I've selected earlier, and then the videos as well, and click my select button, click all 3, or actually 2 videos. And then what I'm going to do is click on new album, click that, and I am going to name this sharks, which I had already done earlier, and click next. And so here you go. Let me just move this over a little bit. And so in the video section, I have both of these videos that were selected earlier, but I'm going to go also to my images just to make sure that those were selected. And so what I will do is just quickly click on all three of these images, and you notice that the bar at the top changes color. And then you just kind of jump down to the very end where it says create. And there you go. You have your sharks folder or your album, and you can actually go in and take a look at all of the images that you saved, and then also the video clips that you had saved as well. And if you want to make modifications, easy to do. All you have to do is just kind of hover over and say, you know what, I want to delete this. I don't like the way that looks. And you can do that very easily. It's a very easy resource to use. And then what you can do is you can click on the menu button that you have here, and you can always go back to explore images, explore videos, maybe take a look at all of the albums that you've created over the past projects that you've been assigned. So you have your sharks, your hip hop, mountains. So everything is listed here for you. You can hold on to these as long as, or users can hold on to these as long as they would like to. They can make modifications, come back and add or delete, and constantly work on these. To benefit what they would like to do with this particular album. So what we will do is we will go back to the menu here, and we will look at Explore Images. And again, these are the 6 subject areas that users could take a look at and decide to, again, just explore individually or create albums for these resources as well. And this is ImageQuest in itself, very easy to use. And so I'm just going to take you back a little bit just to kind of provide you, again, with an overview of this particular resource. So some of the key benefits, again, it's safe, age appropriate for these younger audiences. As you can see, it does support visual learning. And also, ImageQuest can certainly enhance your research projects, oral projects, promotes critical thinking as well. As students use these images, they will talk about, for example, what do they see, their observations. Also, again, ImageQuest covers so many different subject areas. We looked at arts, we looked at geography. It is also a trusted resource. You know where your users are getting their images from. In each of these images that Britannica provides, I don't know if on your end you're able to see, but there's a very, very soft watermark here on the top left-hand corner that will provide you with the information that you need that qualifies this as one of those resources that is that can be used for educational purposes. So again, easy to use, and it's really a great time-saving resource for the younger audiences. So again, if you have any questions or anything comes up, feel free to reach out to Jeff, and then he can contact me, and I'm more than happy to do a demo, provide you with pricing, and so on and so forth.
Thank you so much, Pat. I love I love when we get to profile these kinds of resources. We've had a lot today, actually, of just like really stunning like visuals and tons of possible use cases. So I think that there's like a million ways that this resource could be used in a school library setting. So it's so exciting to see that kind of stuff. Thanks for sharing with us today.
Sure, absolutely. Happy to help. And again, just apologies for that little left or right top hand that kind of threw me off that little box. So
Yeah, I think you did great.
awesome.
All right, well, let me share my screen one more time. I'm going to get us ready for our fourth and final presenter for today. Oh, already I can see I screwed it up. All right, that should look a little bit better now. So back for another Taco Tuesday session. I would say a veteran of the Taco Tuesdays at this point. We've had Sarah on many times. I'm always happy to see you. Sarah Probst coming to us from Springshare. Sarah, you ready to take over here?
I absolutely am. Thank you.
All right, let's see if we can.
There we go.
Great.
All right. Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure. I never or I try to never miss a Taco Tuesday. I love talking to our consortia folks, and it's always a pleasure to work with WiLS for sure. So I am back again with more Springshare updates. If y'all are not familiar with Springshare, we make many tools for libraries to make your lives more streamlined, make your patrons' lives easier. And yeah, so we're going to learn a little bit more today about the different things that you can get through WiLS via Springshare, well, via WiLS from Springshare. There we go. And then also a couple integrations that we have between our own products. It's something that I'm asked about a lot. And then finally, some things that we'll be launching in 2025 that folks are really excited about. So if you are familiar with Springshare at all, which I'm sure some of you are familiar or have heard of us because of LibGuides and LibGuides CMS. So these, of course, are our flagship products, and folks use these to create guides on all manner of topics, subject areas, courses, interests, book clubs. We like to say that if you can think of it, you can build a guide about it. So LibGuides and LibGuides CMS are, of course, two of the products that we have on offer for WiLS members. Additionally, we have quite a host of other things that maybe you are not quite as familiar with. Going right along with LibGuides and LibGuides CMS is eReserves. So this is an add-on for either of those products. And what it is it allows you to do digital reserves that integrate really beautifully into your guides, making them kind of like one-stop research hubs. There's password protection, things like that. That way you don't have to worry about, folks who shouldn't be accessing them. And otherwise, just being able to manage your reserves really well. You can schedule things to be taken down at certain times, be available at certain times. So it makes the process a whole lot easier when you do have tons of digital reserves. LibWizard then, moving right along, is our forms, surveys, tutorials, and quiz software built for libraries. They're really simple to create. They're really simple to share. LibWizard is going to be one of the things that I'm going to talk about heavily when we talk about integrations in just a couple minutes here, as it does integrate beautifully with just about every product that we offer. Now, LibCal and the Lending Hub, this has been a hot topic for probably about the past year. LibCal, if you're looking for something that can handle events, event management, space reservations, librarian and staff appointment scheduling, and libraries and library hour management, then you are actually looking for LibCal, because it does all of those things. All of those components are integrated into a single platform, makes it really, really easy. It has a lot of different widgets and things as well that makes embedding these type of events, your individual appointment scheduler into your web page, those sorts of things. The Lending Hub is an add-on module for LibCal and is perfect for creating a library of things type of program. We have folks that have used the Lending Hub to lend out everything from sewing machines, book kits, to a Ryobi power washer, 9-foot pole saws, and I'm not joking about the latter. It really is quite impressive to see the different things that folks have used Lending Hub for. And I'm really jealous that my own library doesn't have a Ryobi power washer lending program, because I would be right at the top of that list for sure. LibAnswers is for communicating with your patrons. So we understand that communicating with your patrons and tracking those communications is probably a significant part of most of your day. LibAnswers is our total communication platform. So it includes ticketing functionality, live LibChat, includes an automated chatbot that is not AI. It is a rules-based chatbot. We also have an FAQ searchable knowledge base, plus reference analytics and quality of service metrics for all of those interactions. So it can bring in emails, texts, questions received via social media, and chat transcripts all into one place so that you have easy monitoring of all of those different communication streams. It's really quite an impressive piece of software. It's something that we use ourselves for our own support system, as a matter of fact. Now, speaking of things that can take up a lot of your day, if you happen to be one of those lucky folks whose job it is to track statistics, e-resources, or otherwise, LibInsight might be of interest to you. With LibInsight, you can collect, manage, analyze, and share statistics all in one platform. So ILS statistics, no problem. Gate count, no problem. And sushi harvests, also not a problem. Pull it all into LibInsight, do your analysis, share it out later with your constituents. LibStaffer is a tool that I dearly love. We actually use it in-house. We eat our own cooking here at Springshare, as one of my colleagues likes to say. And LibStaffer can help you easily create schedules for your staff, student workers, volunteers, pretty much anybody that works at your library in some capacity. This is a great tool for managing staffing across multiple service points and improving internal communications. Works really well whether you're in a single library location with multiple service points, or whether you are a large multi-branch library system. Very flexible, works great for both. Last in the lineup, or at least last in this particular lineup, but not least, is LibConnect. And we have some updates coming to LibConnect this year as well. LibConnect is a feature-rich customer relationship management, or CRM platform, and email marketing tool and newsletter builder in one. I'm a huge fan of this tool myself. I use it regularly in my work for communication. It is really impressive, the kinds of segmentation and the really beautiful newsletters that you can create as well. So these are some of the resources that are available via your partnership, or excuse me, membership in WiLS. And if you want any quotes or have any questions, of course, get in touch with Jeff and his wonderful staff. They'll get in touch with me and we'll get you going. Now, one of the things that we're asked about often is how our products integrate with each other, which products connect with which. It's a great topic. It's one I love to talk about. So I thought I'd draw up a couple illustrations for us to walk through so we can talk about that a little bit today. Many of our products, like LibGuides and LibCal, include functionality that's going to allow you to create widgets without knowing any coding, but we do also have APIs for those of you with a bit more tech know-how. However, our products also connect with each other more organically as well. So you've got widgets, you've got APIs, and then you've got some of this really nice native integration, which is what we're going to focus on now. So LibCal, first up, it allows you to pull in your LibGuides when creating an event. When you have LibGuides or LibGuides CMS plus LibCal, all you have to do is search for the guide when you're creating or editing your event. Makes it really easy to connect your event with information that you've already curated. This is great for like book clubs, other activities like that, that maybe there's a post or maybe more information you want the audience to review before they come to the event. So if your library is using the appointment scheduling feature of LibCal and also has LibStaffer, you can easily connect the two so that when someone has a shift in LibStaffer, they're unavailable to take appointments in LibCal and vice versa. This is going to make it really easy on your staff. That way they don't get double booked. I am a person that works with multiple calendars. It's a really easy integration to set up. It works really beautifully, and it makes it so that you don't have like 18 things stacked on top of each other in one day. LibWizard is another product that integrates really seamlessly with LibCal. If you want to include a survey and a follow-up email after a library event, for instance, or after an appointment, for example, as well, you can simply create the survey in LibWizard, then find it in the dropdown when you're creating your follow-up email in your LibCal event. It's just that simple. Pick it from your dropdown list, call it a day. This will also allow you some reuse as well. If you have a generic follow-up email or follow-up survey or something like that, for example, you can create it once and then just drop it into your follow-up email time and time again. So that's LibCal. Let's talk a little bit about LibGuides, since again, flagship product, everybody loves LibGuides, LibGuides CMS, and very well you should. So from within LibGuides and LibGuides CMS, you can easily access your LibAnswers widgets. Those are going to be chatbots, LibChat, FAQs, and embed them within your guides as well as in other places like the A to Z database and resources sidebar. So this is great. Again, these are things that you've created in your other system. You don't have to go back and forth. There's no multi-tabbing this kind of situation and figuring out, hey, I've got 23 tabs open. Which one has my LibAnswers system in it? Which one has LibGuides? No, you can simply pick it from a drop-down list again that's connected in your LibAnswers or your LibGuides system. Call it a day. You can also easily grab any of your created items in LibWizard. I mentioned earlier, LibWizard is going to be the big favorite here, like forms, quizzes, surveys, tutorials, and embed them in your guides that way too. So just grab it from your list, throw it in your guide, or updating a guide, call it a day. And then if you do have any edits you need to make to that form, if you make them in LibWizard, those updates will be pushed to everywhere that form is embedded. Now, my personal favorite is LibInsight, being that I do a lot of data work. So LibInsight, again, our data harvesting, storage, and analysis tool, pulls in data from LibAnswers, LibCal, LibGuides, and perennial favorite, LibWizard. So each product provides its own set of reports for analysis, of course, but LibInsight can help surface even more useful insights and help you share them with your stakeholders through customizable data dashboards. Each of these products has their own special data set within LibInsight too, so it's easy to get your data from your other Springy services and then analyze it with LibInsight's additional tools and store that for the long term so that you can do multi-year analysis of things like your guides, how your LibAnswers FAQs are doing, equipment rentals via LibCal if you have LibCal in the Lending Hub. There's really a lot of great options here when you do have these multiple products and are able to take advantage of all the integrations that we have available for them. Now, very quickly, because we're getting toward the end of our time together, I am very excited about the new stuff that we have coming for y'all in 2025. So not yet officially launched, but almost there is going to be LibMaps. So LibMaps bridges the gap between your digital and physical library presence to help patrons navigate, browse collections, and book spaces. It gives users a visual map for upcoming events and research appointments too. Plus, maps actually show real-time availability for your bookable spaces if you have LibCal, and they're built to be accessible. So with LibMaps stack wayfinding, you can add a clickable Map It button to your library catalog and discovery platform to show users the location of a particular book in the stacks. You can generate and upload a list of your existing stack call number ranges, along with library, zone, and collection information. You can also offer patrons a browse the collection view for viewing holdings by subject or by interest. And you can also link to your stack level maps from outside of your catalog with persistent URLs. So you can link to a specific hotspot or area on the map, which is going to make it really easy for folks to be able to find things and, again, find their way to exactly what they're looking for. Now, LibMaps integrates really seamlessly with LibCal and allows patrons to see real-time availability of spaces and seats, again, bookable right from that map. They can view equipment checkout locations for easy borrowing. They can book and view appointment and tutoring locations via the appointment scheduler. And they can click on any hotspot to create information about library facilities, departments, staff offices, and more. Yes, I saw the hand. I realized we're at time.
That was by mistake. I clicked it by mistake. I was not trying to signal you anything. That was just a
Oh,
mistake.
okay. I promise. I have one more slide and then we're done. So just give me 1 second here. So the other big thing that we have coming for y'all, again, not launched yet, but just to give you a taste of what's coming up, is called LibSites with a personalized patron portal. Now, this is going to be really interesting. So LibSites is going to allow you to build dynamic, mobile-friendly websites and give patrons access to their personalized patron portal with real-time account info, targeted messages, upcoming events, and even more than that. So this is going to feature a drag and drop builder similar to what you're used to in LibGuides and LibGuides CMS. You're going to be able to create web pages, blogs, and full websites, all with zero coding, of course. You're also going to be able to do things like audience-based customization. You can show different home pages and content based on the login user type. And you're going to be able to connect with your ILS to display things like checkouts, holds, renewals, and more, all personalized based on that logged in user. Now, since integration has kind of been one of our themes for today, there are a couple different integration points we're going to have with LibSites. So the personalized patron portal pulls key services and data into a single, easy-to-use dashboard. This way, patrons can easily manage their account, discover resources, and engage with your services. So for example, with Lib Answers, you can embed Lib chat widgets and chatbot interactions so users can get real-time help. Users can also submit or view tickets directly from the portal, which is pretty exciting. With LibConnect Pro, I did mention there's going to be an update to LibConnect. Patrons can update their communication preferences, allowing them to opt in or out of library newsletters, SMS alerts, all right from their dashboard. And then with LibCal, patrons are going to be able to view upcoming room reservations and modify or cancel those bookings from within their portal, keep track of events they've registered for, and manage upcoming appointments like tutoring sessions, research consultations, things like that. They'll also be able to see their current Lending Hub checkouts, check those due dates for any equipment they borrowed as well. So that is a quick rundown of springy updates I've got for you this time. As always, it is a pleasure to be with you and to be with WiLS. And yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you at the next Taco Tuesday.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I promise I clicked the hand button by mistake. I thought she's going to see that. Oh no. So no, we're totally fine. I'm always thrilled to have you here on Taco Tuesday and show us cool stuff that exists, cool ways that things can integrate with each other, and previews of things to come. You've always got a jam-packed Taco Tuesday session. So thanks for joining us, Sarah.
Absolutely.
All right, let me share my screen one more time just to wrap us up for today's session. Thank you to all of our presenters, for all of our vendor partners for being here, showing us around some of the amazing resources available to WiLS cooperative purchasing participants. Thank you to those of you who have joined us live. Thank you to everyone who's watching the recording as well. Thank you to everybody. I think we have 2 more Taco Tuesdays booked for the remainder of this sort of term. The next one will be on June 10th. So I hope that you'll join us for that as well. And very soon we'll start promoting for the next big round of Taco Tuesdays, which will run from July through December. So thanks again to everyone who presented and joined us to view today. And I hope you all have a great afternoon and go have some lunch, have some tacos. All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks again.